Welcome in to another edition of the Grown Man's Podcast. My name is Tom, aka T-Bone. I am at home because we are all quarantined. I'm quarantined. You're probably quarantined. We're all quarantined together, but separately. And across town from me, in his hermetically sealed quarantine bunker, is the man, the myth, the legend, my buddy, Hattie. How you doing today, Hattie?
Oh, doing well. I like how my hermetically sealed bunker is my dining room table.
That's right.
Looking at some tropical fruits in front of me. That's what I'm doing.
You always got those fruits on the table there.
Oh, this basket is full of fruit.
I miss sitting there with you, Hattie. I miss sitting there with my drink on top of the gold napkins that you have for whatever reason, having those fancy napkins. And,
hey, you gotta have it. You gotta have it fancy for the podcast.
Okay,
you can't just have regular old napkins.
I appreciate it. If you came here, I'd give you an old T-shirt to use as a napkin.
It's a subliminal message. Like you're picking your drink up when you're recording the podcast and you see gold.
Okay,
you just gotta know you gotta put out a gold product for the people.
All right, I like it, Hattie. It's good. But you know, I gotta give you a little ribbon here because at the end of last podcast, you stole my goddamn sign-off line.
Oh, I did for sure.
That was bushwhacked crap right there, Hattie.
Hey, I was bold and in control.
Yeah, I guess so. You were Johnny on the spot with stealing my line, and then I'm sitting there to pick up the pieces, going, yeah, stay manly, like an idiot.
Just the way I liked it to end last week's episode.
Moses.
I keep saying last week's episode, but it's really the Tuesday episode.
It is the Tuesday episode where we went through the first 12 picks of the NFL draft, exactly how they're going to happen.
Exactly.
You
can chisel it in stone and put it on your mantle.
If we got the first 12 exactly correct and then botched the next 20, I'd still be incredibly happy.
I would still be happy. Yeah, I would.
It'd be pretty spectacular, really. But yeah, so we are going to try and get into this stuff here. But yeah, if you guys didn't listen to the whiskey tasting, if you want to hear panic on my face as my sign off tag got taken by Hattie in the final seconds of the episode, you can go back and you can listen to it and you'll hear me be like, yeah, stay manly, and it'll be good. And then that way you'll listen to the whiskey tasting maybe too, because it was a good whiskey tasting. I thought it was a good whiskey tasting. Didn't you think so, Hattie?
Yeah, I like the show after the show on Tuesday for sure.
Real loosey goosey.
Yeah,
the goose
good
is
stories and good stuff going on.
The goose is always loose on the whiskey tasting, right?
Absolutely.
Cage-free gooses.
Wild and free.
That's right, buddy. Oh, lordy. So we are not going to be doing any questions from our listeners today because we got quite a bit of draft stuff to get through here. And so we do want to thank our Patreon supporters. That'd be Darlene, Gus, Barry, and West. And give a special shout out to Gus. Gus had a rough week last week. So I know what it is. I'll fill you in after the podcast, Hattie. But glad that Gus is still doing okay, and glad to have you listening, Gus. So hopefully this week's a better one for you. And
hopefully listening to this podcast makes your day a little bit better.
Yeah, and if not this, then hopefully the Jets drafting the player you want will be the impetus for a new stretch of good fortune for you.
Did Gus actually tell you who he wants the Jets to pick?
He wants
you talk to him about that?
Yeah, a little bit. He wants an offensive lineman really bad. He'd be mad if it was other than offensive lineman.
All right. Yep. He didn't tell you which player he specifically wanted?
He might have. I could check really quick. It was in my DM, so.
All right.
Let me see. I'll tell you, Hattie, so I don't have to guess.
All right. You want me to go over the social stuff?
Yeah, do it.
All right. Well, we love when people interact with us on Twitter, ask us questions, tell us things, or even DM us if you get close enough with good old T-Bone over there and let us know which players you'd like to see your teams draft. And we appreciate all those who have. And if you would like to join in on the fun, you can also do so at Grown Man's Pod on Twitter. As T-Bone already said, thank you to all the Patreon people who support the show. If you'd like to do that, you can head right on over to patreon.com/grownmanspodcast. And as the last few episodes, this podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. But good old T-Bone over there will read the full ad a little bit later in the show. And now I hand it off to T-Bone.
Yeah.
Appreciate
it. So Gus said he would be happy with Wills, Wirfs, or Becton for the offensive line.
Ooh. Yeah, I like Wirfs a lot, to be honest. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I really like Wills. Wirfs is good too. Becton and Thomas are not real high up for me. But if we get one of those top two, I'd be pretty thrilled. But I'd also be thrilled as a Jets fan if the Jets got Lamb or Judy, just because those would be so exciting. Mm-hmm. It's been a very long time since the Jets have drafted a wide receiver in the first round. I think it's been all the way since Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, I think it has been because Robbie Anderson was
undrafted.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking he was taken like the fourth or something.
No, he was undrafted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was
pretty good wide receiver for an undrafted then.
I know, and I was big on him ever since training camp that year. That's why I always said, that's my boy, Robbie Anderson. But now he's no longer my boy. Now he's somebody else's boy.
All right.
So, it's unfortunate that he had to leave the flock. But you know what? He had to get his money and, he had to stack his paper, Haiti?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta stack that paper.
Sometimes you just gotta stack it.
Sometimes you gotta stack it. Sometimes you gotta cash it. Somewhere in between there, you probably spend it.
Oh, always spend it before you stack it. You gotta spend it.
And if you can't stack it after you spend it. But if you're Robbie Anderson, you're probably gonna go out and spend it on really ugly clothes because that man has a fashion sense that I simply do not understand. Which is the same with a lot of young athletes. I see what they're wearing, and I'm like, but why? Why would you do that? Why you have all of the money in the world? Like, can't you just go down to Old Navy and get yourself some nice clothes, like a nice pair of jeans and a polo? I don't know. That's just the middle-aged dad in me speaking, though, Hattie. I guess
it's true.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Old Navy though.
Oh, I love Old Navy. They got super comfortable jeans.
If you want them to fall apart in the wash one time after wearing them, I guess
they do. They do fall apart a little bit, but I'll tell you, I'm a big Levi guy. Most of the jeans that I've owned over the last 5-6 years have been Levi's, and they don't make Levi's very good quality anymore.
Really?
And I wear my jeans pretty hard. I have a big set of keys that I keep in my pocket because I have keys to all the vacant houses that I have for my job. So I have a lot of keys have rough edges on them, and I also keep a lot of change in my pocket because I work with cash, and I keep a pocket knife in my pocket, things like that. I wear my jeans hard. I'm not just a cell phone and a wallet kind of guy. But yeah, every time the pockets wear out on them. I always get a rip in the exact same place in the front of the jeans.
Well, I mean, if you have all those things in your pocket, you're going, you're like you said, you're out and about a lot, so you're wearing your pants quite a bit. So
I just,
can't complain there.
Oh, I'm complaining, bud. I can complain
Levi's are American classic.
They are American classics, but they're just not being made like they used to be. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sure they're not.
No.
How else you want them to sell them to you for $40 or $20 or $30? I don't even know how much they are.
Levi's are fairly.
How do you want them to be so cheap?
Levi's are like $50 a pair. I mean,
are they?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, and
I've never bought a pair of Levi's, so I don't know. No.
Oh, Levi's fit great.
I've always wanted a pair because you think of jeans and Levi's probably one of the most iconic.
Dude, you got to go get a pair of Levi's.
Jean brands, but
Levi's fit great. There's a reason.
Are they stretchy? Are they stretchy?
They make some that are stretchy. Yes,
I like the stretchy ones.
I do too. As a man of generous carriage, as a Rubenesque man, I do enjoy a nice stretchy pair of jeans. I'm not looking for jeggings, but a little bit of give, a little bit of forgiveness is there's nothing wrong with that in my book.
Hey, I'll tell you, just because we've been under quarantine for the past 5 weeks, was looking through my clothes, seeing which ones I could throw away and just tidying up a little bit. And I tried a pair of my old jeans on, which is just the old school stiff jeans. There's so much, they're not comfortable. They're so uncomfortable compared to the new jeans, which are kind of, they're all my pants are stretchy now. Even my work khakis.
I wouldn't even say stretchy. They just give a little.
They give a little,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wouldn't say stretchy,
They're
but they
forgiving.
give they let you move,
Yes.
without restriction,
Right.
And they're so much more comfortable than the old
Yes.
style.
They are,
And it's
but-
like, man, how did I wear these?
But you're paying a price for that, Hattie. So that's where they get you. You know, you're giving up quality and durability for comfort and which I think that's a good fair trade off. But you are giving something up to get it.
Yeah, because they wash them more and wear them a little bit more to get them soft and stretchy. But
and
I'll take
they're
it.
using a less durable fiber in the jeans as well, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but they are soft, they are stretchy or forgiving, and yeah, Levi's fit great. You should go down and get a pair of them. They sell them at Penny's. I know that. I don't know where. Probably Sears, but Sears I think went out of business.
I think everything's going out of business.
But I think Sears went out of business before the quarantine.
Yes,
But Levi isn't
not
gonna-
all. I don't think all Sears have gone out of business.
Oh, no?
Our particular
Okay.
one did, but I
Okay.
don't think as a company they went out of
Okay,
business.
all right. Because
I mean, after this they might, but
that's true. But yeah, I know JCPenney sells them, and yeah, they got so many different varieties too. That's the nice thing. Now this podcast is not a sponsor here. I'm just preaching the gospel of Levi's here because I'm a fan and I'm a user. But yeah, they have so many varieties, so many colors, so many fits, so many cuts, if you will. Yeah, go down and do it, Hetty. I encourage you to do it, and then if you do, report back on the podcast.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
don't you think?
I like it.
Maybe we should do a segment. T-Bone and Hattie go jean shopping.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds great, right? Maybe we'll put it on the Patreon feed. So rush over and become a Patreon supporter, right? All right.
Yep.
So let's get into this nonsense. We're already wasted enough time here. Hattie was like, let's try to keep this episode a little shorter. We say that before every episode. Do we not?
Yep. And then T-Bone happens to our episodes, and we
What are you
run
talking
long.
about? What did
Oh, yeah,
what did I
for
do
sure.
to make the sucker run long?
The listeners know.
Holy Moses. All right.
They know in their heart of hearts.
Yeah, they probably do. All right, so we left off last week after doing the Las Vegas Raiders.
See, I got you saying last week too.
Oh, did I say last week?
Yeah, I got you saying it. I've been saying it. I was saying it last episode and this episode. Now I got you doing it. I love it.
Shoot. Anyways, and I could recap for you the picks that we made on those, but I forgot to write them down. So
Just go back and listen to Tuesdays episode,
Yeah,
and
just
you'll
do
have all the
that.
picks right out in front of you.
you'll love it. It's full of
Right into
fun
your
stuff.
listening ears.
Yeah, right to your ear holes. Right?
Yep.
All right, so the first pickup that we have today is not the Las Vegas Raiders. That would be pick 12. Pick 13 is the San Francisco 49ers via the Colts. So it was the Colts pick, but the 49ers get it from some trade that happens, and I'm not sure exactly what that trade was, but it doesn't matter. Do you know what the trade was?
I don't.
No. Might have been a draft trade from last year. Who the heck knows?
Yeah, I think it was from last year.
Okay.
So.
But 49ers, I see the 49ers as going wide receiver here. And there is a very clear player still on the board that I think is still sitting there that's sliding a little bit. Not a big slide, but I think Jerry Jeudy he was my number 8 on my draft board. And I think he'd be a perfect fit for the 49ers. So I think that is what is going to happen at 13. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, I think they go Jerry Jeudy or offensive line. I can see Andrew Thomas going right there.
Okay.
So I think they could go either direction.
Okay. All right. I like it.
But I like Jerry Jeudy in that spot.
Okay. All right. Pick 14, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I wanted to say the Cleveland Bucks, and then I almost said the Cincinnati Bucks.
Wow, all over the place.
Yeah, man. This is my first day on the job.
Not even the same colors.
Not even the same corner of the country.
I personally think with them acquiring Tom Brady, they go offensive tackle. And if Andrew Thomas doesn't go to the 49ers right there, I think he goes to the Buccaneers.
All right. I like the
Gotta
pick.
shore up that line for old man Brady.
Yeah, you can't be having Brady on his back the whole season. He cannot and does not move like he once did. And when I refer to as he once did, he didn't move that great then either. So yeah, it's a new system. He's not going to be as familiar with everything as he was in New England. He's going to need to have a really solid shirt up line. And I would even imagine that he probably told the Buccaneers when he was working out his deal there, I will come here under the understanding that you guys do everything you can to make sure that you know, make it so I can succeed here as far as offensive line. And I'll bet you that he might even have some say in that war room, possibly.
It's potential. I think the offensive line was definitely a discussion when signing Tom Brady, though, for sure.
Yes, I agree. Okay. Next up is the Denver Broncos, and they've got some needs kind of all over the place. I think, let's see here. Broncos, I'm going to give them, I'm kind of between Henry Ruggs, wide receiver Henry Ruggs, and cornerback C.J. Henderson. Ruggs is kind of a good all-around wide receiver. He can, he's decent at route running. He's decent at speed. He's got decent speed. Decent at jump ball potential. Got decent sized body. I'm gonna go Henry Ruggs, wide receiver Henry Ruggs.
Really?
Yeah, they have that quarterback Drew Lock that they drafted in the second round last year. They seem all in on him from all reports, even though I have not seen from him, what would make me feel confident in his abilities. I haven't watched him that closely, but from what I have seen, I was not blown away. But I know that John Elway has to succeed at quarterback. Like, he knows that his time's running out there if he keeps swinging and missing on quarterbacks, and I think he's going to give him a really nice weapon to be able to help him to succeed. Their offensive line's not awful. I know that they do need some offensive line help, but now that Andrew Thomas is gone and off the board, if Andrew Thomas was still there, I'd probably go Andrew Thomas, but without that, I'm going to go Henry Ruggs.
All right. So Henry Ruggs is the official Grown Man's Podcast pick, but I think they could shock the world and go Jordan Love here if he's still available.
Oh,
I think
they've said.
I think
that
John Elway goes and that's what they say. I think they could go Jordan Love here, or they could go C.J. Henderson in this spot. But
C.J. Henderson.
Henry Ruggs is a good spot.
C.J. Henderson's one that I could go with there, but they have gone. They've beefed up their defense over the years. Their offense needs help, man. Their offense is struggling, and a really nice, high quality, high octane wide receiver could do a lot to help out a young quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jordan Love or whoever. Jordan Love. I don't foresee him going anywhere even close to that high or to a team. I genuinely think that they're going to try and ride or die with Drew Lock. I think it's going to be a failure, but I think they're going to try it.
All right.
Next up, we have the Falcons. Who you got?
I think they go with the edge rusher out of LSU, Clavon Chason.
Clavon Chason.
Chason.
Yeah, Clavon.
I think
Chason
I think they go
likes his money.
Oh yeah, I think he's probably one of the best edge rushers in the draft, and I think if they can get him at number 16, pretty fortunate there.
Yes, I was going to go with him for my next pick, which is the Cowboys, but you took him, Hattie, you old turd. Mm-hmm. So now I got to do a little figure in here. Cowboys, they could use edge. They could use quarterback. Their offensive line, they lost that one guy. I can't think of his name. But the guy who they lost, he was the one that had like the autoimmune disease or whatever, I think.
Oh, yeah. We talked about him a few weeks ago on the podcast, yeah.
Yeah. They could also use wide receiver, I think, too. I'm going to give them Justin Jefferson. Or no, C.J. Henderson, excuse me.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep. Cornerback. He was 13th on my draft board, so it's decent value at 17. I mean they need to they have a couple holes on their defense, their defensive secondary specifically. So I think he's going to do fine.
All right.
So next up is the Dolphins again by way of the Steelers pick, which that was the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade.
Yes. So here's where I think things get interesting. I honestly think that the Dolphins are going to trade up at some point. Jordan Love is still there.
Well, they have already drafted a quarterback in this draft.
Yes, because they got Tua. Yep. So I think they take the next best.
And he's like, they're taking a second quarterback here.
They're taking a second quarterback.
Take that, T-Bone.
Well, I think the Dolphins have a lot of play. I mean, they could trade back from their 5 spot, or they could trade up here. I think they have 2 first-round picks. They have a lot of maneuverability, and I think that they do something in the first round with moving around. But as things stand, I think they take the second best pass rusher in Gross Matos from Penn State.
Who now?
Gross Matos.
What position?
Out of Penn State.
What position?
Edge.
Matos? I don't even have him in my top 40.
Maybe
oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I do. Yeah, he's got a weird name. It's Yotor Gross Matos.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha, Hattie. All right. So I have him at 31 on my draft board, so that's a bit of a reach there. What pick is that? Pick 18. I would foresee them in, like you were saying, probably a trade-up situation at this point, maybe. I think they are going to really try and come away with one of the top 4 offensive tackles. And so I would imagine that they're probably going to try to trade up and maybe grab either Andrew Thomas or Mekhi Becton. So that wouldn't surprise me if they try and do that with that number 18 pick. So, but yeah, for this pick, if and your pick is the official pick of the Grown Man's Podcast, I would maybe see them going after DeAndre Swift, a running back. The top-rated running back in the draft. They really need running back help. I mean, that's who I would like to see them draft is a running back there. But they also do need some defensive help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So who do we got next? The Raiders. Okay, who did we give the Raiders with the number 12 pick? Did we give them? You gave them CeeDee Lamb.
We gave them CeeDee Lamb. Yep.
Okay, so they just got a wide receiver. So they need some defensive help here. Cornerback, defense. I'm going to go. Try to think of their personnel. I will go. Because they got Jonathan Abrams, who's coming back. What position does Abrams play? I think he played linebacker, but I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, guys. We're doing this in real time, and this is probably what it's like for the actual, general managers who are in real time trying to. They probably know their roster a little bit better than we know all of these 32 rosters. But on the fly, they have to think about things and try to. So Jonathan Abrams is a safety. Okay. I will say let's go Christian Fulton, cornerback to the Raiders. What do you think?
All right.
What do you got him on your? He's 19 on my draft board. And the pick's 19.
Yeah, I like it.
That matches up actually perfectly for that.
So who'd you pick?
I picked. Where were you going to the bathroom, Hattie? I picked Christian Fulton.
Okay, yeah, that was one that I was actually thinking about for my next pick.
Okay,
but since you take took him.
I did take him.
Next up on the list, number 20, is the Jaguars. We already gave the Jags, let's see, they were number 9, so we gave them Kinlaw.
I don't.
Offensive tackle. I think, man. So, I mean, Jordan Love is still out there. That is one of the things that the Jags have been rumored is potentially getting another quarterback if they're not all in on Gardner Minshew, but they kind of seem like they are.
Wait, no.
I'm going to go under.
Who did we give the Jags at 9? No, we gave them a defensive lineman. I gave him
Javon Kinlaw.
I think I gave him Derek Brown. Maybe Javon Kinlaw. You're right.
We gave him Kinlaw. Yeah. I wrote him down.
Okay. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, Hattie. I didn't even tell me that.
I know. Okay. So I think the Jags here. I think we could see a run on wide receivers at this point, just because a couple of them have gone. Mm-hmm. So I think the Jags kind of go and get Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he was the
wide receiver from LSU.
The next highest rated player I have. So, yep. A nice value there. I had him at 16 on my draft board. Where'd you have him?
I had him at 21.
Okay.
So they're getting him at 20.
Yeah. But yeah, Justin Jefferson I've heard a lot of good things about as well. All right. Let's see here. Next up is the Eagles, and who do I have available here? Who's the Eagles running backs? Oh, they just drafted somebody last year, didn't they? Not Samuels. Edwards, something like that. Some nerdy.
I don't know. Around this point is when you start looking at Swift, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But I feel like they just drafted somebody fairly high last year. But he's the top-rated running back in the class. So, but also the Eagles do need a wide receiver. Who's the next wide receiver I got up here? And you got to go all the way to 34 for me for T. Higgins. All right, I'm gonna pull the trigger. DeAndre Swift, running back, top-rated running back in the class. You know, it's no slouch pick or anything like that. But
wow,
yeah, DeAndre Swift.
All right,
I feel good about it.
Going at number 21. All right.
Where'd you have him at?
I had him all the way down at 32.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I had him at 23.
All right, nice.
All right, so next pickup.
What's the next?
Next pickup is the Vikings.
The Vikings. I think the Vikings really need cornerback help, especially in the division that they're in. Mm-hmm. Also, Xavier McKinley is still out there. He's a safety, but I think he could provide some help to the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think it's a huge need for him, though. They really need a quarterback, so I'm gonna go AJ. Did we already take him? No, we did. We did CJ Henderson is who we took.
Yes.
All right, so he's still available. I would take AJ Terrell right there for the Vikings.
AJ who? Oh, Terrell. Oh, really?
Yep.
I have
Clemson.
Okay. I have one, two. I have two quarterbacks rated ahead of him. I got Trevon Diggs and Jeff Gladney rated above him. But
all right.
Yeah. So AJ Terrell, cornerback. What pick is this? This is good podcasting, right, Hetty?
I like it.
Pick 22. All right. Yeah, I do think they need to go cornerback there. I would, however, have gone with Trevon Diggs there. But next pick up is the Patriots. In here, Hattie, you keep trying to give Jordan Love away to people. Here is where Jordan Love is going to come off the board, where the Patriots pick their quarterback of the next 3 years. Jordan Love, who will not work out. So, yes, the Patriots are going to take Jordan Love with the 23rd overall pick. Not quite 199 like Tom Brady, but that's okay. What do you think about Jordan Love in Patriots territory?
Man, if he falls that far, I mean, you just never know. You just got the worry that he's going to be the next Tom Brady.
So these are the teams that have done serious research on Utah State's quarterback Jordan Love. Patriots, Saints, Packers, Dolphins, Panthers, and Redskins. Okay. And the Redskins do not have a second-round pick. So, the Redskins are picking second overall. I think that there's a very high likelihood that Jordan Love slips this far. And I feel pretty confident that if he does slip that far, that the Patriots will probably take him.
All right.
Agree?
Yeah,
if he's there.
Yeah, if he's available at that spot, I think there's a very high probability that they take him.
Okay.
And that kind of falls right into the Saints' lap because they have needed linebacker help for a long time, and that means that Kenneth Murray falls all the way down to 22 or 24 rather. And I think the Saints take him there. I think he's one of the best inside hybrid linebackers in the draft, and getting them that deep in the draft with the number 24 pick is just incredible. So I think they take him there.
Okay. And so for the Vikings, who we already gave, you gave them what, a safety?
I gave them cornerback.
Cornerback? What pick were they? 22? Yeah, you gave them Terrell.
Yep.
I am going to go... Oh, Lord. Didn't they just get rid of a long-time defensive lineman or edge rusher? I can't think of his goddamn name. I'm gonna give him AJ Epinesa. Edge rusher. I have him number 24 on my draft board, and I can't think of the guy who they got rid of. Good Lord, it's going to drive me crazy. Or maybe he was a cornerback. Anyway, if you're a Vikings fan, you know who I'm talking about. I can't remember everything, Hattie. I got a bad memory. But yeah, AJ Epinesa, highly touted edge rusher, so he's going to the Vikings now. Deal with it.
All right.
You like it? You like it?
I guess I'll have to deal with it, I guess. So all the way down, number 20... What are we at?
26 Dolphins, by way of the Texans. Texans just love giving away their first-round picks, bub.
Man, yes, they do.
I think
it's a hard... I think they have to take Xavier McKinley right here. I know he's in the back half of their defense, but he's just such a talented player, still being available at number 26. I think they take him right there. They need defensive help everywhere. I think they take him.
Okay, I like it. You don't think they try to replace him, huh? Replace Hopkins with the next one. Next one coming up. Like, is Higgins still available? Yeah, T. Higgins.
Yes. So here's the thing with the Dolphins. Last year, they had an offense that was actually capable of moving the ball. They just were terrible on defense, and they need to do things to shore that up. So I think they go, with all the picks that they have in the first round, three first-round draft picks, I think they spend at least one of them on defense, and we've already given them who'd we give them?
I don't know if that's true. I think that the Dolphins last year had a fairly solid defense, but kind of struggled with their skill positions on offense, if I remember correctly.
I think you're remembering incorrectly.
I could be, but who are the Dolphins' pass catchers?
I don't know. A player, Devontae Parker.
Okay. Anybody else?
He's pretty decent. I forget their other guy.
He's okay. He's not a number one.
Oh, I think Parker's very good.
Parker's okay.
Not great, but I think he's very good. I don't know who the other guy is.
He's a number two at best.
Yeah, it's probably true. But he's pretty decent.
I think if I were you picking there, I would want to give them T. Higgins or Denzel Mims. Even Denzel Mims has got a lot of upside. Actually, I'm looking forward to putting him on a team somewhere here soon, because I actually think that Mims has a ton of upside. Who else?
Well,
Who else?
it's not what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So,
all right. Who'd you pick?
Xavier McKinley.
Okay. So Seahawks. They don't need a wide receiver. I am going to give them Josh Jones, a tackle. They are always in need of offensive line help. And
Russell Williams is running everywhere.
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson, not Russell Williams.
All right, pick 27, Josh Jones, offensive tackle.
Well, that makes my next pick real easy then.
All right, do it then.
I will do it.
Do it.
Number 28, the Ravens. Going to take T. Higgins.
Okay, I like it. To pair him with Brown there, what the heck was his name? Hollywood Brown. Was that Hollywood Brown? Anyway, yes, I definitely like that pick to Baltimore. I mean, I don't like it as a AFC fan or fan, but
who'd you give the Seahawks? I forgot already.
Josh Jones.
Josh Jones, okay.
Offensive tackle. But yeah, I definitely like giving the Seahawks a wide receiver, or a Ravens a wide receiver there. I think that would make their passing attack very dangerous. And their defense is already fairly solid. I mean, I know that they've lost a couple pieces over the last year or two, but I think all in all, they're doing okay.
Okay.
Who did I give the 49ers? I gave them, dang. I'm not going to be able to give away. I'm going to go, Titans don't really need a wide receiver either. But I want to give away Denzel Mims to somebody because I really like Mims. This is my last chance, so I'm just going to do it, Hattie. Titans drafting Denzel Mims, wide receiver. And I don't even care if they need him or not. I'm not showing wide receiver as a draft need for the Titans. But I don't care, Hattie, because this is a fake draft, and I can do what I want.
All right.
Denzel
Giving
Mims.
him who?
Mims? Denzel Mims.
Wow.
Denzel
Giving
Mims
a wide
is good.
receiver away.
Yeah, he's good.
All right.
All right, Packers, Hattie. Come on, bud.
So that brings up my team here.
Come on, bud.
The Packers, and there's no way that they're making this pick.
There's no.
They're trading this. They're trading out of this spot. There's no way they make
they
this
trade
pick.
out of this spot? They need positions. They need tight end. They need
they're
wide
trading.
receiver. They need. I mean, they have needs that are off or first round pick. I mean, do you think they're going to wait?
I would bet a significant amount of money that the Green Bay Packers do not pick at number 30.
How much you want to bet?
They will either move up or move down. But if I have to take a pick, I will take one.
You do.
And it's going to be the Arizona State wide receiver, Brandon. I can't pronounce his last name. I think it's
Ayuk.
Ayuk.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
We're gonna go with Ayuk.
Yeah.
But he's probably one of the best wide receivers left.
All right, so
run on
wide receivers late in the first round here. We had T. Higgins,
Absolutely.
Denzel Mims, and Brandon Ayuk all go 28, 29, and 30. I like it, though, Hattie. They need wide receiver help there. Adams could not cover the entire field himself, so they got to get it taken care of.
He almost did, though. He had a baller year last year.
Yeah. All right, so my last pick that I am specifically responsible for is the 49ers' actual pick. And I am going to give the 49ers... I'm going to go with Patrick Queen here, linebacker. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go cornerback Trevon Diggs.
That's who I was going to take for my pick.
Well, you can't, Hattie. Yes. I stole him.
I know.
Chiefs need a linebacker, though, and Patrick Queen, I have him at 18 on my draft board.
Yeah, I have Patrick Queen up there as well, and he's still available. I really thought that they could use a cornerback help, and if Diggs was available, I think they would have taken him, but in our official draft, he is not. So, yeah, I think if Patrick Queen is still available, I think they go that route.
He's still available, bud, because this is the draft exactly as it's going to happen.
I don't think he's going to be available at 32.
That would be surprising.
That's just my guess, but hey, in this draft he is, so I will pencil him in the 32 spot.
No,
Woo! If 32 spot for the Chiefs.
If NFL GMs do it any way close to how I do it, Hetty, where I write down 5 of the top positions of need for each team, and that's the only thing that I'm willing to draft in the first round, then Patrick Queen would be dropping till the 32nd spot.
All right.
That's not uncommon, though. I mean, in all honesty, for a player who's drafted or projected to go middle of the first round to drop to the end of the first round.
No, it's really not uncommon, but that's, it happens. It happens a lot.
It happens quite frequently, really. Sometimes you draft out of the first round if you're projected for. I mean, usually not, but that does happen occasionally.
Which is exactly what the Packers are going to do, because they're not picking at the 30 spot.
Booyah.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I mean, it almost assuredly is going to happen, but why do you think it's not going to happen?
With the new GM, they haven't picked the spot that they were supposed to pick in his first 3 years as general manager, so I don't expect that to change this year.
Yeah.
They either have somebody up in the draft that they really like and they're going to trade up and get him, or because the 30 spot, I mean, you trade out of that and still have a top pick in the second round if you could double up with 2 picks in the second round, or you trade out of the first round, you get another pick in the second and another pick in say the fourth round. Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. It's only 3 picks.
I agree. And we forgot to do our ad read, Hattie.
Better do that right now.
Forgot to do it. That must be the host's fault. So let me just say here, I don't want to bury the lead here, because guess what, guys? This podcast is being brought to you by the fine folks over at Manscaped. Okay, they are the best in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. You ever been zipped up in your zipper, guys? You're taking a leak or something, getting dressed in the morning, and all of a sudden you're a little bit too feisty with that zipper. Well, guess what? The zipper very closely resembles the blades on a clipper. You don't want to have a unwieldy clipper going around your nether regions, all right? Just ripping flesh here and there, all right? You want to be able to go in there with the Lawnmower 3.0. It's a third-generation trimmer, which features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents, okay? Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents? Yeah, they're a thing of the past, guys. When I tell you this stuff is premium, I mean premium. And I'm not even joking. Me and Hattie, we love this stuff. The battery's going to last up to 90 minutes every time you charge it, so you can take a little bit longer when you're shaving, okay? One of the nicest features on it, that LED light. You know that you want it, okay? Does your current buzzer or trimmer or whatever you want to have in your bathroom, does it have an LED light on it? Probably not. And even if it does, it's not as good as the Lawnmower 3.0. I can guarantee you that, all right? So Lawnmower 3.0 got 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. So when the people are standing outside that bathroom door waiting to get in there, they don't know what you're doing, okay? You got somebody over to the house, you got kids waiting outside the door. Nobody needs to know what you're doing in there in the bathroom. You're taking care of your business. You're getting right. Your wife's going to appreciate it. Make sure you do it, guys. All right, get over to manscaped.com. Use promo code GROWN. You're going to get 20% off, and you're going to get free shipping. They got a whole huge catalog over there. And I guarantee that if you guys go over there, you're going to find something you like. All right, so don't just skip through the ad and not do it. Just while you're listening, just pop over there, check out the catalog of stuff, see if there's something over there you might like. It some ball deodorant. Let me tell you, you get into bed tonight with some ball deodorant on. Your wife's going to appreciate that, all right? Instead of your old stanky sweaty balls, all right? So go.
Little bum chicka wow going on with some ball deodorant.
Daddy knows what's up, exactly. So go ahead, go over to manscaped.com, look through everything, buy something. But if you're going to buy something over there, make sure that you use our promo code, okay? It's promo code GROWN, GROWN. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping. Again, promo code GROWN. Don't miss out on this opportunity, guys.
Yeah, if you get 20% off and free shipping, why wouldn't you use a promo code?
Yeah, why not? Right?
I would.
Yeah. You'd be a literal insane person to not use the promo code if you're going to go over there and buy something anyway.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. So there's our first round mock. I got to tell you guys, I was not exactly super confident that it was actually going to happen. We promised it last week. And I kind of threw it out there on the air without talking to Hattie about it first. And he was like, yeah, we'll do something. I was like, no, let's do a full first round mock. And then I waited too long. I started doing my research last night. But it's a lot. I have a lot of respect for the guys who do the draft coverage and, have to really go through and grind the tape on these guys and stuff. Don't take it for granted, man. There's a lot of work that goes into that kind of stuff. To do just even a 1-round mock draft, I can't imagine what goes into the draft prep for an actual NFL team.
Oh, it must be an insane amount of time that goes into it.
I
like you were saying, you started doing some research last night. I've been doing a little bit of research here and there throughout last week since we talked about it. And yeah, there's so much to go through. And there's so many strategies that you have to think of with each team. And, do they go team need? Do they take best player available? And I think it's somewhere in between a balance of those things. And, just trying to figure it out. It's a lot.
A team is only as good as its scouts. I will say that because there's so many players in the college ranks that it would be essentially impossible to just guess or kind of skim through and stuff. I mean, you really have to have some high quality scouts that know what they're looking for and that are really dedicated to searching for it and doing diligent work. Even the GM isn't doing all that work. I mean, they have a team of people that they trust and have assigned to do that work for them.
For sure. I mean, there's a reason that certain franchises are really good. I mean, you look at the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Packers, Patriots. The reason those teams are good year in and year out is because they have people that are going out and they're scouting and they're getting good picks. Mm-hmm. A lot of those teams have tons of good picks that they've taken in the 4th, 5th rounds. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason that the Browns haven't been able to put something together, or the Bengals, or Jets. A lot of these other teams that just
you could throw my team under the bus,
get off the ground.
You could throw the Jets under the bus.
I didn't say it.
It's true though.
But it's true. A lot of those teams have great draft positions year in and year out, and they still can't get players that can perform and put a winning product on the field. So it takes a ton of effort and a ton of work to be able to put a team together and have it be a good team for many years. Yep. So if you are one of the lucky few who enjoy a team that has been pretty successful over the years, you really do have it made.
Yep, 100% agree with that. So yeah, Eddie, that's all I got for today. You got anything else here, bud?
No, I don't think so.
Look at this. We did a show that was a little bit shorter than last week. We actually finally did it.
We did it. It's a wrap. We did it.
We're a couple of grown men, Hattie, and if you guys want to be grown men, also you can become a grown man by supporting us on Patreon. It's going to be patreon.com/grownmanspodcast. $1 or $2 a month goes a long way to help out with the cost of the podcast. We'd appreciate it, and we do want to very sincerely and genuinely thank our Patreon supporters who have been there. Some of them from the very beginning, and the rest of them, hey. Everybody's always welcome to support us on Patreon. We're not going to turn any of you away. You're all heroes. But at this point, it's just going to be Darlene, Gus, Barry, and West. You guys are amazing. We genuinely appreciate the support. And also nod to West. He does our music also. So, he's supporting the podcast in more than one way. So definitely appreciate that. Go make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Grown Man's Podcast. At Grown Man's Pod. Interact with us there. Let us know what you think about the shows. If you have ideas or segments, things you want us to discuss, I promise you that if you ask us to discuss something, we will make sure that we fit it into the podcast for you, because we are here to entertain and inform, and we want to know what is on your guys' mind. So we can't know that because we're not mind readers, because mind readers aren't real. But if you tell us, then we'll know. That's the best way. And that's generally the best way to communicate with anybody, is by telling them, not waiting for them to assume that you know what they want you to talk about. But now I'm getting off topic here. Go over and follow us on Twitter, Grown Man's Pod, and also on Instagram at Grown Man's Podcast. Or as I always like to say, you can go ahead and just drop an envelope in the mail addressed to the Grown Man's Podcast, and the USPS will know what to do with it. And other than that, that's all I got, Hattie. So why don't you go ahead and roll the music, bud?